I'm really curious about your opinions. So
You be on his ass.
This dude, I looked at different videos and I read different not scripts, whatever. I read about it as well. But this dude is the one that broke it down the best. So shout out to you, David Seaton. You did a great job explaining this stuff.
Well, we finna do 16 minutes of this.
No.
Okay. I'm finna get up.
Hey, boy, no. We got to go.
It could soon end up costing you more to head downtown or go to the grocery store in Chicago. That's part of a new budget plan that includes increased property taxes.
City budget negotiations continue. Mayor Johnson is offering up more tax revenue suggestions.
Brandon Johnson has put forth a new set of ideas to get his budget passed. This comes after his previous proposal was rejected by City Council. Today, the Johnson administration proposing a $68 million property tax increase. That's down from the $300 million he originally proposed in October.
Hey, Joe Marie, the Johnson administration started at $300 million in property taxes, then lowered it to $150. Now it's at $68 million. But that's not all of the changes we're learning about. Not even close.
The city of Chicago now trying to balance.
I just had a quick question, right? If you started at 3.
You stole my question. Go ahead.
You never needed 3.
You started at 3. You're like, okay, because you went for the high thing. Oh, y'all ain't going for that? All right, we're going to go back to the drawing board. Oh, we got 150. Oh, y'all ain't going for that neither? All right. You come back with 60? All right, go ahead, finish and continue. I just had to get that off my. I couldn't let that keep going and not say nothing about that.
That's exactly what I was thinking. Like, all right, bro, let me borrow 10 bands. All right, let me borrow 5 bands. All right, you got $300, bro? You got $300?
Bro,
like,
I really
come on,
just
bro.
needed $20. Like, what the fuck, bro? How you go for 3 bands and $20? Why you ain't just ask for the 20 at the beginning?
Oh, man.
Balance part of the budget by installing more speed cameras.
We have found millions of dollars of efficiencies across the board.
Mayor Brandon Johnson does not disappoint. He went from $300 million in a property tax ask to $150 million. Now he's down to $60 million. But he's still going to destroy Chicago. He's not going to do it with property taxes. He's going to do it with fees. And there are no shortage of ideas of fees that this mayor is trying to use to get the money out of your pockets to cover up his reckless spending.
Now, new to the discussions here is an increase on the tax you pay for plastic bags at the grocery store. Instead of paying 7 cents per bag, you'd pay now 10 cents. Johnson also elaborated on how much revenue would be generated from other taxes he's previously discussed increasing, like the streaming and cable.
Parking tax hike, parking tax congestion surcharge.
What is that?
I guess if you, like in New York, they were doing something.
Oh, okay. When the traffic is heavy downtown, they just want to charge you more for a toll. Okay.
Streaming and cable TV tax increase.
What?
Oh, shoot, wrong button.
TV tax, and the taxes you pay when you take an Uber or Lyft or even park in a city garage.
Dookie
You're going
tax.
to want to hang out to the
Anytime
end
you
of this
take
video.
a dookie,
because
it's going to be some tax.
You got to pay 2 cents.
2 cents per dookie.
that's when I'm going to put forward some very straightforward solutions that you haven't heard conversed about anywhere else. But let's go through a couple of his ideas. Obviously, we've got the $68 million property tax increase. So everyone in Chicago should be saying, well, thank God he came down from 300 to 150 to $68 million. So that should be a win for everyone. But all he's going to do is just try to nickel and dime you in other places. So let's look at this tax that he wants to put on plastic bags at the grocery store. Whether you're an individual who goes into the grocery store and has your groceries bagged for you, or you're one of those self-checkout people, they're paying 7 cents per bag right now. He wants to raise that to 10 cents. That doesn't sound like a lot of money, you know, when you just think about it. There's only 3 cents of an increase, right? You only have to look at a store like Walmart. They use billions of bags every year. Man, and that's how they're trying to come up with this.
All of that, man. So y'all mean to tell me, man, when y'all be in y'all self-checkout, man, y'all be telling them how many bags y'all got? Them is free. Let's go.
You think it's fixed into the price?
Hey, boy.
No,
whatever you
no, because they can ask you.
Hey,
and Walmart is going to ask you how many. I'm telling you to steal. Let's go.
Self-checkout is buy one, get one free. I don't know what the fuck y'all
I'm not buying one.
buy one, get one free.
I'm not buying one. I'm free. Come on, let's go.
Additional revenue. They say, hey, billions of bags. There are 4 Walmarts. That doesn't include the Albertsons, the Jewels, the Marianos, the Trader Joe's. all of these other grocery stores, not to mention the little mom and pop stores. So if they raise that actual tax from 7 cents to 10 cents, they're hoping that you won't notice because you'll only be paying 3 cents at a time. So it won't be as big of a shock. But all they've done is they're just playing a shell game. They were asking for the money in the form of property taxes that you were going to pay in a lump sum, because in Cook County and in Chicago, you pay your property taxes twice a year in March and then again in September. So now instead of you paying a large chunk twice a year, they're just going to nickel and dime you, or in this case, 3 cents you to death, because everybody has to go to the grocery store. Let's look at this other one that he's talking about. He also was talking about taxing the streaming and cable TV tax increase. So now, if you have a Netflix account, if you have a Hulu account, Paramount, if you have cable television, they're going to sneak another tax into that. You are going to have to pay a tax on your Netflix bill just because you live in the city of Chicago. Think about that for a moment. You are going to have to pay an additional fee as a privilege of having a streaming service because you live in the city of Chicago. Last one, the parking tax, how he has mismanaged this budget. And let's look at that last one, the parking tax rate hike. I already know, I go into the city at least once a week on Fridays when I do my terrestrial radio show, and I pay about $17 to park in the underground parking garage for 3 hours. Now they want to put an additional tax even on that. That's going to be, if you're in a garage, I'm sure it's going to be for the meters. Again, just nickel and diming the people of the city of Chicago. And we can't forget about this new tax that he wants to do, or let's just call it a fee, because he's got to come up with an additional $11 to $12 million for the consent decree to cover the police officers. That's that consent decree he has with the federal government for civil rights violations in the past. So what does he do? He wants to introduce more speed light cameras so that you can pay additional fines.
The city of Chicago now trying to balance part of the budget by installing more speed cameras throughout the city. It's one of the several ideas he pitched to city council on Friday in an effort to come to a compromise by the end of the year.
Shot spotter, put up speed camera.
Hey, look, but didn't at one point the federal government said that wasn't right, and they took most of them away, right, in Chicago?
I know.
If I'm not wrong, if I'm not mistaken.
It only should be around parks and schools.
Yeah.
They still are. The shit that be around schools though be all. A lot of them was questionable areas. Like it's like, bro, ain't even no school right here. So I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know about it being a governmental thing, but I know that they removed a lot of them. Yeah,
that's what I'm talking about. They removed it. Okay, so it wasn't the government. It was
I don't know.
I thought it
might have been.
I thought it was mainly in the suburbs too, though.
Yeah, they did remove a lot of them. Period. I think all over the world. Like not over the world, of the United States. Because I remember moving a couple of them that was in Florida and stuff too when I go down there, back down there and stuff. So, but it's just.
But that's the gist of it. I mean, it's a 16-minute video, so we don't need to. He goes and explains at the end of it. He explains his own ideas of what he can do instead. But I just wanted to know your guys' thoughts on it.
I don't live in Chicago, and I won't be moving back.
I live in Chicago, and
I don't.
I mean, it don't matter. I mean, it matters, but you know, if I want to continue living there, then I'll pay it. You know, like I said, I get my bags for free.
I don't really see. I mean, I don't really see how this works in the long run, because it's weird to me. It's weird to me because, like we said, like Mal said, you went from 300 million to 68 million. What were you going to do with the other 332 if you got it, or 232 if you got it? I'm confused. And why do you think charging people more? Well, I mean, that's kind of a business tactic to recover what was lost or whatever. So I'm not necessarily saying that is a bad thing. Well, of course, prices going up is always a bad thing. Nobody wants to pay more for using the same thing. But
He's a teacher though, right? He was a teacher before he became mayor. So
history teacher.
Yeah. So I can't really. I feel like people are telling him, "Hey, this was a good idea." You know, people who actually probably had degrees in it. This was a good idea, and he's just okaying it. He's the face for this. You know, and granted, look, this is a Chicago issue, but let's not act as if Illinois is the least corrupt state. Like, this shit could, you know, it potentially affects everybody. You know,
that's what I was thinking.
I know y'all live where y'all live, but you come into the city.
That's true.
You know what I'm
That's
saying?
true.
So you come in the city and do different things. You're still gonna pay.
Yeah.
So
But it's gonna drive a lot of people to not stop coming to the city though.
But people say that all the time about different things. They had sugar's tax, niggas was buying pops. They had, like they'll say that, but really 3 cents gonna keep you from buying a bag. I mean, you want a bag, you need a bag. Or get like me, it's still a bag.
But what I look at it too, what I look at,
or get a reusable bag.
What I look at too is like the Dems are always talking about they're for the people, but this is putting a dent in people's wallets though.
I don't get it.
But y'all say y'all are for the people. Like I don't see how. But then you want people to keep like, keep voting for us, keep vote. But you sitting over here nickel and diming every chance you get. You already barely have enough, to where you can, do what you need to do and do all that, and then have a little extra, to do the fun stuff. Shit, the fun stuff will be cut out.
I'm with that too, right? I'm with that too because everybody, when you're facing financial peril or you're facing a tough financial situation, you got to naturally what you're supposed to do is trim the fat of frivolous spending.
Yeah, you got to trim
until things get better.
Yeah.
But I don't really see because I don't have any way to prove this. But even though this is stuff that's happening in the city of Chicago, I think it's going to bleed over into the suburbs as well.
It did with Oak Park. It did with Oak Park. Remember with the bags? Oak Park started charging 10 cents per bag.
But I think why they did that because they're so close to the city. They right next to the city.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's why the reason why it'll do. So all the suburbs that's like actually touching the city, I think they will do it because they right there because they know people will come right over from the city to come over there to do your shopping and then go right back to the city to live and all that stuff. So that's why I think Oak Park did what Oak Park did.
Yeah, when I go in the city, I get a parking spot on Spot Hero. Even that, and I don't do it often, but still pay more to get the same thing. And I don't know what this is in. Are we trying to recover from financial ruin or I don't know. I haven't heard it.
Just a lot of stealing.
Yeah, but is it the stealing and the migrants, or is it just the stealing? Or you think it's both?
Stealing. I think even with the migrants, I think it was some stealing going on.
Operation, yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't. So it is what it is.
Yeah, I think that the whole illegal immigrant thing is a cover up for stealing.
Yeah.
So you really don't think they spend the money on the migrants? Do they pocketing a lot of that shit?
A lot of it, yeah.
Absolutely.
A lot of it. Because, these people are staying in places that we wish we can afford. So somebody's paying for that. So I agree that there's being fundage given to them and we're paying for it, but it's definitely going in people's pockets.
So that's the thing where we was talking about motherfucker working, what they say, they was working 160 hours in a week.
Yeah.
Quadruple overtime?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, somebody's stealing.
I'll take something like quadruple overtime, though.
Yeah, every time I think that he can't pose a worse idea, he just astounds me every time.
Yeah. I don't think it's him. I think it's this nigga, he's just a face. He's a parrot.
I can see that.
I couldn't imagine him, you being a history teacher. I got all these great ideas. Not to say that, history teacher. Well, I'm just saying these great ideas. Hey, we're gonna get rid of shot spotter to save lives.
Jerry, they say nigga ain't smart enough.
I mean, look at this nigga here. But anyway, this is what
I told you. What I told you. Every time I look at the man, it's like, bro, I don't see how y'all voted that man in with a haircut like that.
Yeah,
at least hire a math teacher.
Wow, no, it's just that, and people look at me when you really think about it. It's like, bro, you 30-something years old, and you still got a mohawk. That shit was in 2004, 5 when people walk around with mohawks, and that shit was ridiculous then.
I just say that good luck to him, and I wonder how much per Chicago resident this is gonna cost each person. Roughly, this is $10 extra. All right, whatever, but it's gonna sound like more. So
I'm just wondering specifically about two things: the streaming service TV tax and the traffic, the congestion surcharge.
It'll be like a toll entering, and so they'll put up a big
or
how they got
more tolls.
Yeah. So it's like when you enter, So it'll be a toll. You know how the little toll bridge thing.
You into the loop.
So it'll be there, but it won't be turned on until the congested stuff. So like rush hour. So it'll be from like 3 to like 5, or 3 to 6 or something like that. So if you go through that toll at that time, you'll be charged a surcharge tax. It'll like run your plates or whatever like that for that toll.
Wow, that makes sense. That makes sense because I was wondering like how would he charge people more for being in traffic?
Well, get some motherfuckers. They'll be working on that shit. They'll start working on that shit now. That shit'll be through next year. It'll kick in.
I could definitely see that like on Lakeshore Drive and shit like that.
290, the loop. What is it? 9094, all that.
Yeah, but I think it has to be on something that's non-interstate. Interstate is gonna be federal.
Yeah, that's true.
So.
Oh, okay.
So once you on 290, once you probably reach the old post office building,
yeah,
that has something right there.
That'd be crazy to me because every time I want to go in that building so bad, I've never been in that.
Yeah, I heard
the
it's
old
nice
post office, and it got a couple restaurants and stuff up in there.
Yeah.
They say,
you heard
but
it's nice.
Yeah, it's real nice. Like I want to make a trip, a little date or something out of it, me and my wife. But I always hear good things about it.
Yeah, man, that's wild. And then one thing that I've been hearing is that a lot of people, there's been a mass exodus out of Chicago.
It's going to keep happening. Like people are really moving to these suburbs and these quiet towns and all that stuff. And if you can afford it, you're going to do it. But it's just the money-wise to me why I stay here. Like, if you can take what you make right now and go move to another thing, but you can still keep what you make, you'll do that.
Listen,
but that's not going to happen, though.
That's exact. I meant to actually say this when we were talking earlier about the week. I might become a Michiganian.
I feel you.
I'm not even lying to you because I was out there and just off gas alone, every single gas station I saw was at least 20 or 30 cents cheaper.
But you got to look at it this too. It's the cost of living down, but they're going to pay you less too. So your money's going to come down to what the cost of living it is up there.
That's
so
true.
People don't realize and don't think about those things. Now, if you can take what you make from Chicago or what you make here and just move there straight without them taking nothing from you, okay, be all good. But you're not doing it. Because when I came here, and I was surprised, when I first moved here in 2000, back here, I moved here in 2009, I think it was. I took like a $2 pay cut because I was transferred from, I was working at Target then. I took like a $2 pay cut, and I was wondering, like, damn, Chicago's supposed to be like, cost of living supposed to be higher. But I thought Miami was higher than Chicago. So just be aware of that. I understand you're talking about the Michigan, you want to become a Michigander, but hey, your ass going to be paid like a Michigander too.
That's that's what people like when they were during COVID, people were moving. They say they lived in one of those tech areas in California. They was getting paid all that money. Then they move out into the woods somewhere. They thought they was kind of getting around it.
No.
It was like, nah, you're going to get paid what they get paid out there.
Yeah. But move back.
Yeah.
Move right back. Yeah. I already know it. Move right back.
What's your favorite, not favorite phrase, but what's your phrase? Measure 2, 3, 8.
Yeah, 18, 16, whatever, 13, 36 million times, but you're going to cut once.
Yeah,
it sounded good. It sounded real good. Now you start thinking like, yeah, it is right on. I ain't even think about that. Yeah, it's when you start thinking about stuff like that. You got to think about all that. You can't just think about surface level. That's what we want to do. We want to think about something. No, you got to go deep, and you got to sit there and think in your thoughts for a minute and think about this decision you're going to make. It's like, is this really the best decision for me?
Yeah, it's a thought in the back of my head, man, because I know somebody that lives in Michigan, and they have and I've been to it, a 3-bedroom condo. It's like $900 a month. I talked about it before. $900 a month, but they make good money. They make more than me.
But you got to see what type of job they're doing too, though.
I know there's a work from home, customer service.
I get you.
Yeah. I mean, in the chats, we share houses, right? Down in McLean, Texas. These shits is $150,000, $200,000. Real nice house, marble floors, marble cabinet, all this real nice shit. The caveat to it is that it's like 10 minutes away from Mexico. So, you know what I mean? It's a real nice house. If it was here, this shit would be $700,000, $800,000 crib.
People don't think about that, though. They don't think, see, that's what I'm saying. They don't think about that. We as people, we just so surface driven. We see right here, right here in front of us. You're not seeing 4 and 5. That's what makes you a great thinker, a great leader. You're thinking about 4 and 5, 6,000 steps ahead. You're thinking about everybody behind you, everybody that you got to lead. You got to think about all of that too. It's not just about you. So I can't be just moving out there doing. I got a family that no, we can't do that. Right. It's not just about me. If it was just about me, I'd be in a motherfucking a studio or something, or go get me a nice 1-bedroom house. Goddamn it, I'm cool with that. But you can't. Oh, I go get a condo. I don't even have no backyard or none of that shit. Give me a condo.
OG said, "Come on, the N-word was 411." I'm not sure what he was talking about. He sent laughing emojis. He said, "It really bucks now." I'm not sure what you mean. He said, "Where y'all been, fam?" I'm not sure what you mean by that. Cause
I think he's a little bit behind us.
yeah, I think he's behind.
So
You gotta throw it on 1.25.
appreciate you coming in, OG.
Appreciate you. Thank you guys for kicking it with us. We're at the end. You guys got anything for Mesh?